Well, hello, my friend. I'm your host, Conny Graf. Thank you for joining me today and allowing me back into your ears. As a fractional CFO and coach, I'm blending Swiss precision with strategy, soulful guidance, and astrology to help you align your finances, system, and self. This is part 2 of a little year-end money series. Last week, I talked about Black Friday, about the difference between just-in-time and just-in-case buying, and how to stay calm and grounded so you don't add more chaos to your credit card. Make sure you listen to that episode when you finish this one, because Black Friday might be over, but there is still Cyber Monday today, if you listen to this when it comes out, and also other holiday deals, 26th of December, New Year's deal, whatever. All year long there is some deals. And I do mention some useful tips and practices that work any time of the year in that episode too. And today I want to talk about what to do with the money you actually keep, and especially about this popular idea that you need to spend a bunch of money at the end of the year so your profit goes down and you pay less taxes. We'll talk about why spending to save taxes is really backwards, what you can do instead with your profit, and a simple year-end money check-in that only takes a few minutes but gives you a lot of more peace of mind mostly. But also peace in your finances, right? So let's tackle the first part, that tax myth that creates chaos. This whole buying just in case thing is reinforced by some people, some gurus on the internet, yelling at you with this idea that you need to spend a bunch of money at the end of the year so your profit goes down and you pay less taxes. I hear this a lot, and every time this Swiss CFO cringes a little. And here is the thing. Yes, in most countries, your taxes are calculated on your net profit. And if your profit is lower, your tax bill will usually be lower too. That part is true. What is not so helpful is the conclusion that then a lot of business owners jump to, and the gurus reinforce with yelling at them and at you, is if I spend $1,000 on something that I don't really need, I pay less taxes. And so that is smart. I don't know about you, but can you hear this contradiction? Let me give you a simple example with made-up numbers, of course, just to illustrate this. So imagine your tax rate is 20%. Wherever you are, it's 20%. We just go with that for now. So if you make $10,000 in profit in your business, your tax bill is going to be $2,000, right? 20% of $10,000 is $2,000. Now you decide to buy a random thing for $1,000 at the end of the year, something you really don't need, but you buy it just in case. It's not a just-in-time purchase. It's a just-in-case purchase, and it is also motivated by saving taxes. So, okay, before you had $10,000 of profit, but now you spend an additional $1,000, so now your profit is only $9,000, right? 10,000 minus 1. So your tax bill becomes 20% of $9,000, which is $1,800, $1,800. So what happened is you spent $1,000 cash to save $200 in taxes. Can you see how kind of backwards that is? I really would say this is not a smart move. This is not even girl math, because girl math is at least funny and it makes somewhat sense, right? But this is not girl math. So this is also not smart tax planning, and you shouldn't do stuff like this. It's kind of like financial clutter in action, and it will create a shitload of mental and emotional chaos on top of it all. So instead of asking, how can I get my profit down to pay less taxes? A much more empowering question is, how can I use this profit that I made? First of all, let's say this, be grateful you made a profit, right? Like, oh my God, how amazing. Okay, so now we We did this. We're grateful. Now ask yourself, how can I use this profit in a way that actually supports me and my business while at the same time benefiting from all the legal ways to keep my taxes as low as possible? Of course, we don't want to unnecessarily pay taxes, right? But just look into some other options, what we can do with this profit. We can keep it. We can beef up our rainy day fund in our business. So when slow months come around, surprise, surprise, that happens, right? Or this unexpected bill shows up that for some reason slipped your mind that you're gonna get this bill. You don't go into a panic. That peace of mind is for sure worth paying a few bucks more taxes, right? You have the money. You still have it. You can pay this unexpected bill. Or if you have a slow month, you don't have to freak out and go into panic mode, right? Paying yourself a bonus would also be something that you could consider. Yes, you pay more taxes. You may pay more taxes in your private life too. But you can put it in your personal rainy day fund. And again, this peace of mind is worth paying a few bucks more in taxes, right? Talk with your tax accountant about it, how much more taxes you would really pay if you did this. Me, I'd rather pay a little bit more taxes, but I have this rainy day fund. I have this cushion to fall back onto, so I don't have to freak out. I don't have to be worried whether I can pay my next bill or not, right? So a lot of things make more sense to do with the money than just buying something just in case, right? Or just to save taxes. And I understand it. Trust me, I don't like paying taxes either. Nobody likes to pay taxes. But taxes are not the enemy here. A tax bill simply means you made money. Yay! It means you made a net profit. Yay! It means your business is successful. Yay! Be proud. Really, be proud and pay the taxes. Taxes is the duty that we have to pay. And if you actually put aside, I have some podcast episode somewhere, if you actually put the percentage of taxes that you expect to have to pay to the side right away and don't ever look at it as if it's your money, you actually don't pay taxes, right? Like our mind can be twisted, right? And we can just put that somewhere and don't even think it's our money. Then you don't pay taxes. Then you can keep everything you make because you already deducted the taxes and you only look at your real net profit, the one after taxes, the one that you can actually keep, right? But that's just a little side note. So again, taxes are not the enemy. The real enemy is unintentional spending that leaves you with less cash and more clutter, financial clutter, emotional clutter, mental clutter. And it robs your future self, right? So before I want to end my rant for today, I want to offer you a simple and tiny reflection you can do in your journal or in your notes app, or just when you go on a walk or drive to go grocery shopping or whatever. You can ask yourself, what was one money decision I'm proud of that I did this year? And what was one money decision that felt chaotic and reactive? That was probably more a just-in-case purchase rather than a just-in-time purchase, right? And then what can I learn from it? What can I learn from it moving forward? Not beating yourself up. It's not about, oh my God, I was so stupid. We all are stupid sometimes. It's more about, what can I learn from it? What do I need to do that I maybe don't repeat such a not so ideal decision? And also, what one small money habit I want to bring with me into the new year? Do you have already a wise money habit? So I really have the money habit that whatever money comes in, I right away put away the part for the taxes. So I don't even look at this. I don't look at this as my money. So this is the money habit that I bring into every new year for many, many years already. And it serves me so well. I never freak out when I have to pay taxes. It wasn't my money to begin with. It actually made some, if you do it right and you have it in the right account, it makes you a little bit of interest while it sits there and waits that you have to give it to the government. But it's never your money. It's actually other people's money that make you a little bit of money. You can look at it in a positive way, right? So let's wrap up. I want to quickly recap also last week's episode and, of course, this one. So last week I talked about how Black Friday and Cyber Monday noise and year-end pressure can push us into just-in-case buying, which creates mental and emotional, digital and financial clutter and chaos, right? You can go and listen to that episode. It's not a long one. And then just-in-time buying solves real problems you actually have right now and usually feels grounding and supportive, while just in case buying, like when we just jump on a sale that we see and we don't even ever thought before we needed that thing, feels anxious and stressed and for sure not grounded and supportive, right? And it's often we waste money then on something. I've done it. I admit it. I've done it. I've jumped on sales and later I was thinking like, what the hell was I thinking? It was not ideal. And then this week I talked about how spending money to save taxes is backwards. And if you buy things you don't need, you lose more than you save. Remember that you lost more. In my example, you spend $1,000 to save $200 in taxes. Makes really no sense. But of course, as always, I never tell you what to do and what not to do. What I want to do is help you see the effects of this kind of chaos and this kind of thinking and this kind of decision making has on you, your business and your life. And how to move from chaos to peace of mind, peace of space, and most of all, more peace and profit, right? And if listening to this episode, you realize that your finances feel more like running your business blindfolded and that you don't have everything under control, I want to let you know you don't have to figure this out on your own. This is exactly what I help my clients with when I coach them and when I'm consulting them as their fractional CFO and ally. And also, I plan on hosting a workshop this December on how you too can take the first steps from chaos to peace in your finances for 2026 to stay focused and, like in a few minutes a day, keep the financial chaos away. So stay tuned for that. Best by signing up for my weekly Moon Day emails, and you find the link in the show notes to get those. They come out every Monday. They're not just talking about finances. They talk about the moon, and I'm talking about how I go about finances, how I go about chaos, right? And I'm not perfect. I always tell you that too. I'm not perfect. So you can sign up to the weekly moon emails at the link in the show notes, and you will be the first one to hear when that workshop is happening in December. Okay, my friend, that's it for today. Have a beautiful and amazing week. Thanks again for listening in and enjoy the season without buying all the things. Take good care and talk to you next time. Bye for now.